welcome back. Summer is almost over, winter is around the corner, Halloween's around another corner, Thanksgiving around another corner, and then bam, it's Christmas. So why is this time of year so special? Well, if you're a collector of any sort and worked in retail, you'll maybe have an inkling. There are two specific times when retail stores reset their modulars, especially for toys, to allow new product to hit shelves, say for like the Velocitron line or any Target exclusives or Walgreens exclusives, that kind of thing. But on the flip side, you can also go to what I like to call bargain stores like Ross or TJ Maxx or Tuesday Morning, depending on where you are in the world, and pick up, let's say, last year's models. Now, I recently picked up quite a few really good acquisitions, but for certain reasons, I can't all film them in one video. So I'm just going to do this one on Rhinox for now, and we'll catch up with my other one a little bit ways down the road. But for now, we're just going to look at the pickup that I found at my local Ross store. For anyone that doesn't know, Ross is basically another version of TJ Maxx or Marshalls or Burlington. They get overstock or stuff that just didn't sell, and they mark it down at a reasonable price and resell. Now, this video is going to be purely a reactionary, as basically an unboxing, because I've never actually got my hands on this mold before or even owned a Rhinox. I know, that's terrible. So this is basically just going to be my first views, opinions, and thoughts on how good or bad the figure is. Not an actual review as such, just more of a, it's okay. However, if this is inverted, you're reading this backwards, but from $25 down to $19.99, it's not a big drop, but it's enough to make me want to pick this guy up. If I'd seen this in a Walmart or a Target, I definitely would have been interested, but I know there would have been lower markdowns, so that would have probably made me leave that on the shelf, and it would have been a maybe, basically. So what am I yabbering for? Let's spin this camera around and get this guy open. So not only a good price for that $20 markdown, but it looks okay in packaging. It looks how I remember Rhinox looking, except for maybe the jawline, which I know a few people have seen on reviews for this guy. I kind of had an issue with, because the bottom jaw is supposed to be his bottom jaw where it lines up with the chin, and giving him an extra mouth and then the chin. But I digress. The artwork is really nice. The Kingdom artwork, I think, along with the Earthrise, maybe not so much the Siege. I know it's primarily the same artist, but there's something about the Kingdom artwork and the color scheme that really speaks to me. I like it. I don't really like a lot of the Beast Wars characters or go for them. Bear that in mind for a video down the line, but he looks good, and for the price, it was well worth it. And when you do just primarily collect G1, getting a guy like this is a nice little bit of, it's a breath of fresh air, I feel. So, got the logo on top, Maximal, product shot on the back, and all your legal jargon, and on the underside. So, that's it. He looks good in box, and he looks good on the back. Let's see if he measures up. Now, before I break him out even more, I've got to say the card gimmick, well, card and sticker, it's a nice little kind of addition, but when you basically keep on getting pretty much the same card, Arc, Black Arachnia, Black Arachnia, Black Arachnia, one Megatron, I know he's upside down, another Arc, and another other Arc. I know they're supposed to be kind of different, but when they're all so similar, this is needless. And with the new packaging style, with the less plastic, and they have paper ties instead of plastic, this is just a needless addition, and it's nice, but it's not nice. So this will go to the collection of growing ones that I already have. So yeah, thanks for that. And again, you get your obligatory instructions. And They're instructions. They're always done in a nice 2-tone or 3-tone color. They're always highlighted like IKEA ones about what you're going to do next. It's instructions. Will you count the snips with me? 1 snip, 2 snip, 3 snip, 4 snip, 5 snip, 6 snip, 7 snip, 8 snip, and 9 and 10. Now already, just from handling him for a few seconds, I like how chunky this guy is. He feels good. The texturing's good. He's got a nice, big, flat, jaw-like stomach, which doesn't end up in the robot mode. It's just a faux piece, but it works well. He's a little bit flat if you look at him from like a different perspective, but this back with the rhino head really does fill him out and makes him feel a bit more chonky than he should be, you know. Everything works well. He's got nice articulation. Like the arms have a good rocker on them and they can come out all the way rotation, which is expected in figures these days. And there are some which don't have that, like the new Laser Optimus Prime. That for me, it's a great figure and it uses some great engineering, but that needs some work. So just saying. Legs have got a good bend. Again, it's just, it doesn't feel it, but it feels good to hold. Got his nice little Rhino robo feet, which are probably going to be reversed in robot mode. Rhino mode? Robot Rhino, whatever. Let's have a look at that head sculpt. I like the separation of the jawline to make it like a chin thing. He's kind of got a not Straxus, G-axis thing going on, which I really like. So he's got nice eyes. There's no light piping, which is a shame. So you really have to catch the light to get the red in his eyes, but it's a good likeness for Rhinox. It's a bit bland in places, and there's a distinct two-tone to the plastic on the head, but the rest of him looks great. And you can't really have Rhinox without his buzzsaw Gatling gun weapon things, which I never really understood. Apparently the Thrilling 30 version of this guy, these were a lot better. I have never, this is my first interaction with a Rhinox figure, so I'm not really sure, but they're good from what I can tell, and they've got good clearance, so you can move in any direction where he's facing. There is no wrist rotation. I'm gathering that this pops open and it just folds in for transformation, but yeah. Wham! Get those out of the way. Yeah, he's good. Let's get him with one of his crew, shall we? And just like magic, he appears. This is the original version of Cheetor that was in Wave 1, I believe. He's also good. I prefer the Night Prowler colors, or is it Shadow Panther colors? There is like 3 different versions of this mold, so I'm not really sure which is which. I'm that out of touch with Beast Wars, but he scales well with Rhinox, and that's all you want really with figures of the same line, like the Generations line, Kingdom, whichever you want to call it. You want them to have some cohesive look, not only in scale but in color tone and variation and sheen and shine, and just you want them on the shelf to look good, cohesive, like a actual group. And these are my first 2 Maximals. I'm actually considering seeking out Optimus Primal now, because I've looked at pictures for ages and he looks really good, and I don't know why I haven't got him before. So I'm slowly being turned onto Beast Wars. I really am. And I've already got some Predacons, but these guys really do look good together. Like I say, the color schemes work well and they just look like they pop straight out the show. But let's get back onto Rhinox, shall we? Now, as I said before, arm joints are good. Everything feels solid. There's no real, it doesn't feel like there's any degradation in this mold. And I think this is, there isn't anything that shares this mold type And he's good. He's got like your ankle pivot, and he's got ports for fossilizers or weaponizers, whichever you want to use. Not as many, I'm noticing, as other figures, but I'm pretty sure you could figure something out. I mean, you've got the hands and the feet, so and you've got 2 in the shoulder, so you can do some kind of wrap around cannon thing. That's pretty good. As I say, this kind of works with the gimmick. There are some figures that have just literally 2 or 3 ports like this guy, just to incorporate those fossilizers, but this is really good. I'm liking this. These parts, I know they're probably for transformation, but yeah, he's good. He's chunky, he's solid, his colors work well, the gold shines really nicely. The teeth are all picked out, and everything on the mold is just really good. And if you look closely, they've got that splotching, which on a regular G1 figure, you'd probably class as battle damage. And I know battle damage isn't really a popular thing, it never was, probably never will be, but I didn't mind the battle damage. As I said in my Blitzwing review, I prefer the torn up, beat up Galvatron, as I remember watching season 3 before I watched the movie, so it took me a while to get caught up, but yeah, for me that Galvatron's perfect. So, but this guy's looking pretty darn perfect too. I mean, you've got a lot of the molding is really good on the Rhino head already, and I know this mouth opens up, but I will try and transform this guy, and we'll probably quick spin through that. Might as well show you guys how much I'm going to fail at this, so let's do it. I want to pause and say the way this is engineered so that it folds up and goes inside the stomach is actually really genius. And here is Rhinox in his Rhino mode, and the head is, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be that kind of twisted, but this was not a fun transformation. The weapons are supposed to peg together like this and then store on the underside. There's a hole just there, you'll see, and there where these will peg in. But trying to get all these tabs, there's a tab here, tabs here, 2 tabs here, and all this is supposed to click together. It was not an easy feat for me. I have quite good dexterity, but as soon as you click one piece in, another piece clicks out, and then it was a nightmare. But getting him in his Rhino, why do I keep doing that? Getting him in his Rhino mode, you can, oh my god, you can do a good friggin' jaw chomp. Obviously there's nothing in there, but the mold is really brought out with how good the Rhino is. And yeah, there's not really any articulation on the back, but the front, you can kind of push these forward and push them back. This is why I'm not a big fan of these animal modes, like with the Dinobots. You can kind of move them around a little, even things like Slug and Sludge. They've got some dexterity in their legs, but these Beast Wars characters are quite, they're not very poseable, they're very static, and there's not really any good feeling of motion that you can get out of them. The robot mode, though, is gorgeous, and again, the Rhino mode, the teeth are picked out in silver, which is a bit of an odd color choice, but yeah, the hoofs work well. The feet, again, give that faux feeling that they're going to become one of these legs, but just like the chest, which folds in here. But it's good. It's good. It's just, again, yeah, was never my thing. I watched the show as a kid. I had a few of the toys, but oh, bloody hell. Once you pack these in, these are real difficult to jam out. Oh, I just fucked up on camera. Well, this is how they're gonna, I was gonna say, this is how they're gonna live their life now. So, but yeah, they've got corresponding innies and outies on either side so they can peg in, which is clever. But yeah, that won't be going together again anytime soon. These weapons are good. I like the way they're painted. The choice of gold was good. The robot mode, Rhino mode, strike three, Toy Scourge, strike down 3, bite your finger off, is good. This is good. Like, the eye is nice and picked out. You've got nice line work for the mold. The nose is good, even head on, like with the bone texture is really good as well. And the ears, like, there's no denying that this looks good apart from the couple of spots of green that you can see, but it has to hide a whole robot mode and basically as a shell former. So even on the back you've got like a nice little sculpted in tail, which the back of a rhino, I'm sorry to say, will always remind me of Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. Like, I'm half expecting Jim Carrey to come out of there right now. That's probably why there's that big hollow gap, so you can fit him in there. Yeah, it's good. It's just very static for me. It's very, very static. And when you've got an animal which is supposed to be majestic and move, it's like, there you go. I'm sure that the Masterpiece version of this, which I think there's a Masterpiece or Masterpiece version, I cannot freaking talk today. Masterpiece version, or a third-party version, which I know that I've seen has got quite good dexterity in the animal mode limbs. Didn't screw up there. But yeah, it's just there he is. His weapons can go and fall off or store in his butt. So that's Rhinox's beast mode, animal mode, and it looks good at a glance, but for any kind of posing is just absolutely useless. So yeah, back to robot mode. I will give this a small benefit of the doubt. There is a lot of sculpting, like on a lot of these new generations figures, which is really small and you might miss on first viewing, but you've got these cogs and wires, very robotic on the inside. Even on the bottom of the actual feet, you've got kind of fuses and grills and small molded in details, which they really did not have to put in. But for a static Rhino mode, well, now it looks like Jim Carrey gives a pop out. These are really good, nice little touches, and they don't need any kind of paint to pick them out. Like, you will just notice them transforming this guy enough, and it's nice little touches like that I really do appreciate on these figures. Like I say, especially with like the texturing on the face and the legs and the splotches. Overall, it looks good, and in every way, shape or form it looks good, and there's attention to detail in every little piece on this. So yeah, the robot mode is good, but this mode, no good still, sorry. So just rounding up, this guy is well worth it for the discounted price point, but the transformation is so tedious and so complex, and there's so many small panels, like these move, these move, these move. There's all, it's all very, very convoluted and just full of tedium, and it's not a fun. Transforming should be easy and elegant and fun, and you should be able to do it quick at whatever age. But this, there's so many, especially for the back, there's so many clips and tabs that you have to have in exactly the right space, and it's just that sigh is exactly how I should wrap this up, because he looks good. The colors are great. Like, the choice of green, I'd say, is like a light forest green. The molding is good in robot mode, and admittedly animal mode. and you've got small bits inside and out, like the inner thighs. Inside of these clips, there's good articulation, a good attention to detail. The team must really love Beast Wars, because they did do a good job. It's just the transformation is just so, and really, is about as much as I can say about the transformation. If I'm just going to leave it on the shelf, if you're just going to leave it on the shelf or in box or in beast mode, it's good. It will be a good solid piece to your collection at a very reasonable price, especially if you find him on the secondary market at a Ross or a TJ Maxx. But for the Voyager price point, especially what the Voyager price point is now, no, just no. And on that note, bye Rhinox. It has been an experience. Obligatory end of video miniature screen version of myself right next to some really good thumbnails of other videos that I've done. Links will probably be below, or you can check them out on my channel. If you like this video, don't forget to like if you like. Subscribe maybe for more content in the future. I'm about to start shooting another video, so stay safe in the heat and have a good day.